After a night of deliberation, Congress failed to reach a compromise on the nation's budget, therefore shutting down the federal government until a resolution is reached. Congress did agree to continue to pay military personnel, and you won't see changes to Medicare, Medicaid, and postal services. The shutdown did, however, furlough 800,000 federal employees nationally, slowed down veteran disability claims, closed national parks, and shut down federal websites. Congress is continuing to work on a compromise and will continue to earn their paychecks, a thought that doesn't sit well with local residents.
I think that it's unfortunate that our representatives, who really don't represent us, have forgotten about the poor and the needy in our country, that they set a very poor example of how the political process should work, and that they're still going to take their salaries while taking salaries away from other people.
Both the congressmen and some of the members of the White House continue to be paid, while another number of other government employees are not being paid at all. That's what strikes me as the most ridiculous part.
Local Congressman Bill Foster has said that he will donate his paycheck to the Northern Illinois Food Bank. The non-negotiable issue for the Republican-controlled House is the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. The GOP says that they will only pass a budget that either changes Obamacare or pushes back the deadline for all Americans to have health care, 1 year from the current start date, an idea that the Senate continues to reject.
It goes to the Senate, and the Senate says, we'll strip this language out and we'll pass it and send it back to you. And then they put the language back in, and then they pass it and they send it back to the Senate.
The government has shut down before, back in the 90s under President Clinton, but entering other non-budget items into the negotiations has not.
We're at a point right now where there's a small section of the Republican Party who is very loud and has a lot of pull. And the rest of the party is being pulled in a direction they may not want to be pulled in. And in doing so, and really attacking the Affordable Care Act and making this one of the main components of this budget process, is something we haven't really seen before.
The effects are being felt here. Fermilab in Batavia, funded by the Department of Energy, is now operating on reserve funds to keep paychecks coming for their 1,700 employees. The lab's director, Nigel Lockyer, said in an email sent to all employees, a shutdown will not immediately affect employees. Fermilab has sufficient monetary reserves in its contract to continue operating for about 4 weeks, so employees will be able to continue working during a government shutdown. President Obama said in a speech to the nation today that he sees the need for Obamacare and isn't willing to negotiate. I'm Whitney Goodbred for Naperville News 17.